Lost Cause Ranch, we have yet more LR4 problems. But this one's not your typical timing chain problems that the 5-liter LR4s are plagued with. That's already been done on this guy. But we got a new one, as you saw there. Tons of white smoke, and that is never a good thing. So are we gonna have to do head gaskets? This is kind of an intermittent issue on this one. Every other time you start it up after sitting, it just billows smoke, kind of like a James Bond rig. But that's not intentional on this one. Normally, loads of white smoke out of the tailpipe would indicate head gasket. But I'm hoping that's not the case on this. We just did chains probably 10,000 miles ago on this guy. Rather not have to tear the cylinder heads off. That's not a exactly easy job on these, not impossible. Harder than an oil change or something like that. But went ahead and ordered the part I think it needs off my gut feeling. So let's get into the shop, do a little diagnosis, and see if my gut was right, hopefully. Otherwise, we're in for a treat. So the camera might have picked it up as it was pulling in. She's got some weird noises going on. That's kind of what's leading us to believe it might not be head gasket related. Also, you do the old sniffer in the tailpipe when it's smoking, and it's not distinctively sweet. So, not thinking coolant. It actually, when it's idling and puffing a ton of white smoke, it doesn't really smell like anything, which is kind of strange. But if you take it for a drive while it's smoking and get some stuff nice and warm, it's got a little bit of an oil smell. So, either way, she's chooched. So of course it's not the thing I ordered. So I don't know if you heard that there. That is coming from the crankcase vent area. So we're gonna pop those guys off and take a peek-see as to what the diaphragms look like. Maybe they're tore and it's sucking some oil in where it's not supposed to have it. Good possibility. Though that means my guess, before even looking at it, was incorrect. I went ahead and ordered this guy. That is a brand new vacuum pump. I was going with that was leaking oil through it and sucking it right into the intake manifold, filling it up. I mean, I guess it's still a possibility. We could have two issues, but it was a Land Rover, so I just went with the more expensive option because that's usually what's broken. It's never the cheap one. So, cross our fingers, if it's the PCV system, we're out of this lucky. So fast forward 3.5 minutes, and we found the hidden walrus that was barking in the engine there. Right there. We have a tore diaphragm. I guess not just one tore diaphragm. We have two. So those guys are the PCV diaphragms right on top of the passenger side valve cover on an LR4. And they have the PCV breather hose hooked to them on the back there. This one that follows along right into the intake manifold there. So on one side is the crankcase, which holds all the oil inside the valve cover. The other side is the intake manifold. That diaphragm's supposed to keep those two separated. But if that's tore, that means the vacuum from the engine is gonna suck the oil right on in and burn it up. Everyone dogs Land Rovers for being a little problematic. Looking at that from outside in, and seeing it, would have thought head gaskets for sure, which is quite the ordeal on one of these. Turns out to be like $40, $50 and 10 minutes. Every once in a while, it's good to be lucky and lucky to be good, something like that. So fear not, sometimes Land Rover problems are simple, but don't always expect that. So the benefit of having a pile of Land Rovers around is we have another LR4, which also happens to have some diaphragms, and these ones aren't bad on this. Being I didn't order those and I ordered the vacuum pump, we're gonna rob these off my LR4 and put them on the gray one in there, confirm everything is good, make sure that is the only issue going on. And if that takes care of that, we'll order 2 sets. New one for this, new one for that. So that's what good ones are supposed to look like. As you see, one solid piece, no cracks or tears, on like that guy and that guy. So we got a little puff of smoke on the backside there, but that is going to happen for a bit. We're gonna have to run this guy down the highway and clear that out. Cats are gonna be filled, mufflers gonna be filled. When they smoke that much, it'll smoke for a bit until we get everything cleaned out. Can you hear it in there? No, you can't, it sounds normal. No more walrus bark in the engine, so that's good. Never a good sign when the wildlife's inside the Land Rover. It's supposed to be on the outside when you're on your safari. So there, disaster avoided. Realistically had probably 15 minutes tied up into this whole deal. Fix it and everything, just drove it. No more smoke, all good. Ended up not being head gaskets. That's always a plus. It was looking grim in the beginning. But like I said, under $100 bill, when something comes in smoking like that, you can't complain whatsoever. And outside of the smoke, this thing just had some random misfire codes that would pop up, and it would be different every time you started it up. It'd be on 2 to 4 cylinders, but that is from the amount of oil that was getting dumped into the cylinders. Obviously not gonna be happy, not gonna be running right. This thing should be good to go. Timing chains have already been done. PCV valve's done. Back to Rovering. I mean, it took longer to order the wrong part than it did to fix the problem.